Good evening, my dear students. So for today's lecture, we will be talking about different base systems. So when I say base systems, I may be talking about base 10 or non-base 10 systems. Examples of non-base 10 systems are Base-2, Base-16, and Base-12. There are also octal numeration system or base system rather. So that means octal means base 8. So if before we were converting across or we were converting Indo-Arabic numerals to Babylonian numeration system or Mayan numeration system, in this lecture we will be converting across different base systems. So for example, I'm given a base 10 numeral, I have to convert it into base 2 numeral or base 16 and so on. Or baliktad, I have a base 16, I want to convert that to base 10. So just a review, when we say base 10 numerals, what we mean is the place value of that numeration system uses base 10 raised to the power of n. So for example, here you have a base 10 raised to the 0, base 10 raised to the 1, to the 2, to the power of 3, and 4, and so on and so forth. So if we evaluate these powers, 10 raised to 0 is 1, any number raised to 0 is 1. 10 raised to 1 is, 10. 10 raised to 2, or 10 squared is 100. We will be able to reveal the place value system. So our Indo-Arabic numeration system is base 10. So we have our ones, our tenths, and our hundreds, and so on. The Babylonian numeration system is base 60. So using base 60 raised to the powers, ayan, you will get your place value system. So we have ones, and then 60s, and then 3600s. So when we say base 4, we are using base 4 and raising that to the powers of n. So 4 raised to 0 is 1, 4 raised to 1 is 4, 4 raised to 2 is 16. So their place value system is 1s, 4s, and 16s. So your octal base is, or base 8, 8 raised to 0, so 1, 8s, and 64s, and so on. Also, ilan yung number of basic symbols na ginagamit? So in the base 10 numeration system, we use 10, of course, from 0 to 9. The digits 0 to 9. In the base 4, you only use 4. From 0, and then 1, 2, and 3. In base 8 numeration system, you use 8 from 0 to 7. And in base 2, you only use zeros and ones. I think computer science students will be familiar with the ones and the zeros. Now, how do we differentiate between bases? So we will use subscripts as labels. So when you say, or when you see 23 or any numeral and then the subscript word 4, that means this numeral is base 4 numeral. When I put 5 in 2314 as a subscript, that means this digit is base 5. Now, if wala kang makitang subscript after the digit, that automatically means that this one or that one is a base 10 numeral. So how do we convert from non-base 10 to base 10 numeral? So for example, I'm given 200 or 2314 subscript 5. So this numeral is of base 5. And then I want to convert it to base 10. So remember, when we say base 5, we use the base 5 and raise that to the powers of n, as you can see here. So we have 1s and 5s and 25s and so on. So what we do is we just put this numeral into expanded form. So you write each of the digits. So 2 coming from here, and then multiply that to the place value. So, how do you determine what power yung i-raise mo doon sa kanya? So, 2 is in the fourth place value, no? If you begin here. 4 minus 1 lang. So, that means 5 you will raise to 4 minus 1 or 3. Now, 3 here in 2314 is in the third place value. So, third or 3 minus 1. So, you will raise base 5 to 2 here. And so on and so forth. So, 2, 3, 1, and 4. Those are your digits in the numerals. And then multiply each by their respective base 5 place value. Now, after that, you will evaluate the powers. So, base 5 raised to 0 is 1. 5 raised to 1 is 5. 5 raised to 2 is 25. And 5 raised to 3 is 125. So, after you evaluate the powers, you just multiply with the digits. So, 4 times 1 is 4. 5 times 1 is 5. 3 times 25 is 75, and so on. You get the sum of this, and that would be 334. That means 2314 of base 5 is equal to 334 of base 10. Now let's practice with this one. So I have to convert 3156 subscript 7 or base 7 to base 10. So let's just write that again. So that means I'm going to multiply each of the digits to the base 7 raised to the power of n. So 3, that's in the fourth place value. So that's 7 raised to 4 minus 1, 3. Plus 1 times 7 raised to the power of 2. Plus 5 times 7 raised to the power of 1. And then finally 6 times 7 raised to the power of 0. You have to subtract minus 1 dun sa mga powers, because remember, you have to start with 0 here. So evaluating the powers, so 6 times, that's 1, plus 5 raised to the times 7 raised to the 1, that's 7. 7 squared is 49, so this is 1 times 49, plus 7 cubed. If you put that in the calculator, is 7 raised to 3 is 343. Multiply that by 3. Now 6 times 1 is 6. 5 times 7, that's 35. This is of course 49. The product of 3 and 343 is 129. Now, if we add them together, we will get 1,116. So, that means 3,156 subscript 7 or of base 7 is equal to 1,116 of base 10.